Hello, welcome to the fourth episode of my Spigot development series. Today I'll be showing you how to do basic staff commands like kicking, banning, unbanning, and vanish. So without further ado, let's just hop right in. So you want to go to your com.tutorial package, you want to right click it, you want to go to new and make a new package and call it staff commands. Now inside of the staff commands package, you're going to right click it and select a new Java class and name it kick. Now inside of it, you want to type implements command executor. Now you want to press Alt and Enter and press Enter again and click OK. This will implement the command executor method. Now you want to change this to sender. You want to keep this as a command. The string is label and the end is args for arguments. Now inside of here, you want to type if command dot get name dot equals ignore case and then kick. Now inside of here, you want to do if not sender dot has permission. Then you want to do your custom permission, which for me is going to be tutorial.kick. Now inside of here, you want to type sender dot send message. Now you want to type you do not have permission to run this command. I'm gonna fix this, and actually you might as well just use the color utils as well. So color utils dot translate color codes and then the actual message and for you do not have permission to run this command. And then you want to type return true. Now inside of here you want to type if args.length is more than 1. You want to type sender.send message. Less than 1, not more than. Send message, color utils dot translate color codes. Now you want to type and for usage slash kick and then player name and then the reason. Oh, by the way, I made a mistake. It's and C for it, not and for. There we go. And then you want to type return true. Now underneath here, you want to type player target equals bucket dot get player, and then this will be your argument, and then 0, because this will be your first argument since it's in an array, which starts at 0 in Java. You want to import the player class. Now underneath here, you want to type if target is equal to null. Inside of this if statement, you want to type sender.send message, color utils, dot translate color codes, and then you want to type and C player and C player not found. And then you want to return true. These are just basic checks to make sure that the player is valid and the command is being used correctly, because you want to make sure that there's an actual player specified and a reason does not have to be specified. This is optional because there'll be a default reason if one isn't given. But this argument checks to make sure that you've actually got a player, and then this checks to make sure that the player is actually on the server when you're actually running the command. Now you want to type string reason equals, and then you have been kicked. If we make this also and see, this makes sure it's a red message, but you don't actually need this. You can just keep it like this. It will be completely fine. You can get rid of the color and put it in the main kick command anyway. Now you want to type if args dot length is more than 1. You want to type reason equals string dot join, open your double quotation marks and type space, and then you want to type a comma and then args. Then outside of it you want to type dot substring, and then you want to type args 0 dot length, and then on the end dot trim. Make sure with dot length you don't forget the 2 brackets like I did, and then end the line with a semicolon. Now this is just a default reason. Now underneath here, target dot kick player or target dot kick, either way should work. I'm going to use dot kick player, and then you want to type, you want to add color utils dot translate color code, and then inside of here type and see you were kicked exclamation mark, and then you want to type \n reason colon, then add a space, and then after here you want to press plus and then reason. So if there is no reason given, it will default this to you have been kicked, and if there has been a reason given, it'll add it onto here to say the reason is bad. It will say you are kicked, and then the reason will be bad. Or if that wasn't specified, it will just be you have been kicked. Now you want to go underneath here. You want to type sender dot send message color utils to translate color codes, and in here you want to type and a successfully kicked, and then type space plus target dot get name. This will get the username of the player you just kicked, and then plus, and then inside of quotations you want to type for colon space, and then outside of here you're going to do a plus and then reason, and then underneath here you want to type return true. Now I have just realized I didn't even check to make sure the command was ran by player. So inside of here you want to do Control X, you want to type if sender instance of player equals player sender. Now inside of here you want to paste the previous code. Now the sender will now just be player. You want to copy that and then paste it everywhere that says sender, or you can actually do Control F. This is your find and replace, so you want to type sender, and then replace it with player, and then you want to click on here and then place and then replace. Just replace all the other instances of sender without replacing the ones that we actually need. Now, if you want to exit out of that, this command should work perfectly fine, and you want to go back to your main tutorial class and go under the load commands function. You want to type the same stuff, so get command and then kick dot set executor new kick. Now moving on to the next command, since our kick command was done and it's a really easy command to make, we can now move on to actually banning the player. So with this, you want to make a new class under staff commands and name it ban. Now in here, you also want to implement command executor, alt enter, then press enter again, and click OK. Change this to a sender, the S to label, and the final strings to args. Now in here, you want to type if command dot get name dot equals to ignore case ban. Now on the side of here, you want to type if sender instance of player player equals player in brackets sender, just like so. Now you want to type if player dot has permission, and then you can simply type tutorial dot ban. Now inside of this if statement, if not player has permission, sorry, you're gonna type player dot send message color utils dot translate color codes, then and see you do not have permission to ban. Underneath here, you wanna type return true. Now you wanna type if args.length is less than 1, then type player.send message. Now this will be your usage reminder, so it'll be usage slash ban player, and then reason. Again, reason will be optional. Then you want to return true. Now under here, you want to type player target equals bucket dot get player args 0. Now underneath here, you want to type if target is equals to null, which means no value. And then you want to type player.send message, and then type player not found. Or if you want, you could actually just get the target name that's specified, and if it's yeah, okay, if target equals null, target equals args and then 0. Let's hover over this real quick. Required type player. Yes, so Uh, wait, type player. I'm sure it doesn't matter as of right now, but if we do this, play not found, turn true. Now under here, you want to type string reason equals, and then banned by an admin. Then here if args.length is more than 1, you want to type reason equals string dot join. Helps to actually type reason correctly. Reason dot join, string dot join, and then inside here args, outside of here substring args 0 dot length, and then on the end dot trim, and the line with a semicolon. Now underneath here, you want to type bucket dot get ban list, and then you want to type ban list dot type dot name, bucket dot get ban list dot type dot get name dot add ban. You want to import the class ban list. Then inside of here, you want to type target dot get name reason, and then null on the end. Now you want to type player dot get name, which would be the main player, which is the sender. Then you want to end the line with a semicolon. And then after that, although you've added the player to the ban list, they're not actually kicked from the server yet. So to do that, you need to type target dot kick player, and then add the reason. So color utils or translate color codes, and see you have been banned, exclamation mark, \n for new line. Then you could type and 7 if you want, but I'm gonna keep it all red. And type reason, colon space, and then plus reason. Now under here you wanna type player send message, color utils to translate color codes, and then type and a successfully banned space, then outside of it type target dot get name, and then space 4, and then space afterwards, like so, and then plus reason. Then underneath that you can type return true, and that is the ban command done. Now there is a way to make it so that you can actually kick the or ban the player if they're not on the server, but I can't remember how to actually do that. So for now, we're just gonna make sure that the player's actually online for this tutorial episode, and then maybe in the future episode I will come back and improve it. But for now, that's just the way we're gonna do it. So you wanna go back to your tutorial class. You wanna type get command, and then ban dot set executor new, and then ban. I am misspelling everywhere, Jesus. Gonna get rid of that. There we go. New ban, import the class. There we go. We successfully registered that. Now we've made a ban command, but we also need to make an unban command. So under staff commands, name this one, create a new class and name it unban. Then you want to make sure it implements command executor, and then implement the methods again. Remembering to change this to sender, this one to label, and the n1 to args. Now you want to type if command.get name dot equals to ignore case and then unban. Outside of here, you want to type if sender instance of player equals player sender. Let's fix this because I mistyped it. There we go. Now underneath here, you want to type if a player does not have the mission, and then tutorial unban. Then you want to send the player a message saying that they do not have permission. So you do not have permission to unban. And then you want to type return true. Now underneath here, you want to type if args.length is not equals to 1. You want to type player.send message, color utils, translate color codes, and then see usage slash unban, and then player. Turn true. Now underneath here, you're gonna type string target equals args, and then 0. Now underneath here, you're gonna type if bucket.get ban list, and then you want to type ban list dot type dot name. Don't forget to import the ban list class. And then on the end, you want to type is banned, and then target. Now inside of this if statement, you want to type bucket.get ban list. Now inside of here, you want to type ban list dot type dot name, then dot harden, which is what Minecraft uses to unban people. And then you want to type target, which is obviously your player name that was banned. Now inside of here, you want to type player.send message. And then inside of here, you want to type and a successfully unbanned space and then plus target. underneath here, you want to type else, and then over here you want to type player.send message, color utils or translate color codes, and see that player is not banned. And underneath here, return true. And now this is your unbanned command completed. All very simple stuff. Now you want to go back to your tutorial class and register that command. So unban, get set executor, new unban. Now here obviously is imported each individual class, but you can always just replace one of these with a star, which will do every single class inside of that, which means you can delete this and there'll be no errors, like so. Now those commands are now registered. Now we can actually move on to our vanish command. So over here, you want to create a new class and call it vanish. You want to implement command executor again, alt enter and implement methods. Change this to sender, this to label, and then the last one to args. Like normal. Now you want to type if command dot get name dot equals ignore case and then vanish. Then inside of here you want to type if sender instance of player, import the player class through go player equals player sender. Also, I may have missed out something, so I'm gonna type tutorial or whatever your plugin's called, then type plugin. And underneath here, you're gonna type public vanish, and then tutorial, and then plugin. And inside of here, you're gonna type this dot plugin is equals to plugin. By the way, don't worry about these errors as of right now. We'll fix them later. Actually, this needs to be before the on command function. So actually, you should not get any errors. Now, underneath here, you're gonna type if player dot has permission, then tutorial vanish. Now inside of here, you're gonna type if plugin dot vanish underscore list. Don't worry about the error as of right now, since we have not actually created that list. We will fix that later on. Now inside of here, you want to type for, and then player people, because this is getting every single player on the server that has this, or actually no, every single player on the server, and basically you want to make sure they can see the player, which means this person, if they're inside of this vanish list, which is what we'll add to the players to if they go into vanish, they will uh, then be able to see the player because they'll be coming out if they're inside of this list already. And then underneath here, you want to type plugin dot vanish underscore list dot remove, and then player. Underneath here, you want to type player dot send message, and then you want to type color utils dot translate color codes. I'm pretty much not really using my color utils function, but you can literally use it and type like and then any hex code you want, including the hashtag on the end, and the hex code will work perfectly fine. So I'm just using it out of habit. Now underneath here, you want to type else if, and then player is plugin dot vanish underscore list dot contains, and then player. So if the vanish list does not contain the player, and then you want to type for, and then player people, and then bucket dot get online players again, and inside of here you want to type people dot hide player, and then you want to type plugin player, which will then hide the player. And then you want to type, actually, what we should do is check if the player, if people, wait a minute, player bucket people. Okay, now before you hide the player, if you do people, if people, sorry, and then dot has permission, and then we could do tutorial dot vanish, which means if the player does not have, if like any player does not have the permission to vanish, then we are going to hide the player. Else, people dot show player, and then plugin player. So this ensures that if the person does not have power to go into vanish, the player will be hidden, and if they do, they will still be able to see the player, because obviously staff members on most servers can still see other vanished people. It's just that ordinary players can't, which is what this will do. Now, underneath this for loop, you want to type plugin dot vanish underscore list dot add, and then you want to type player, and then underneath here we are actually going to start an action bar event. So start action bar, and then inside of here we're going to type player. We're going to add this action bar function underneath, and then you want to type player dot send message color utils or translate color codes, and then you want to type and you are now in Vanish. Now underneath this if statement, which has the permissions, we can type player dot send message color utils dot translate color codes, and then type and C. You do not have permission to use this command. Now, all of this should be fine. So underneath the command function, you want to create a new one called public void and then dot action bar. Now, this will require player. Now, we want to type new bucket runnable. Now, inside of here, you want to type add override. Now, underneath here, you want to type public void run. And inside of here, you want to type if plugin dot vanish underscore list dot contains dot contains clear. And make sure you type plugin correctly. There we go. Then you want to type player dot send action bar color utils dot translate color codes, and then inside of here gonna type add E for yellow color, so vanish, and then add A enabled. So that means above the hotbar they would see that they're in vanish, just as a constant reminder. Now underneath here you want to type player dot send action bar color utils, so translate color codes. Under here we are indeed starting another action bar, but this one will go pretty quick, which basically telling them that they are no longer in vanish. Then underneath here you want to type this dot cancel to cancel the action bar. Now underneath here you want to type run task timer. Then underneath here you want to type plugin and then 0L and then 20L. There's no delays, and then this will be 20 ticks. Now everything in here is perfect. Now you want to go to your main class, which is in core tutorial. And then you want to make a new array list. So underneath here, you want to type public array list. And then this will contain a player. Now you want to type vanish underscore list equals new array list. Just like this. Now these errors should vanish list dot contain, sorry, not contain. Yep, that's perfect. Now you want to register the vanish command. So get command vanish dot set executor new vanish. Then inside of here you want to type this and then this, and then you want to scroll up to the top. Actually, you don't need the second this. That'll be fine on its own. Should be at least. And that is your basic vanish command. Now what we need to also do is we need to consider that with vanishing, if a new player joins the server, they're still going to be able to see that vanished player. So what you need to do is what we could do is create a new package and then name this vanish. Inside of here, you're gonna type Vanish join, as this will be our listener. So you want to implement listener, listener, like so. You want to delete this, and you want to import the class of bucket listener. And now inside of here, you're gonna type tutorial and then plugin public vanish public vanish join. Inside of here, you want to type tutorial plugin, and then there's the plugin equals plugin. And underneath here, you want to type add event handler, as we're now listening to another event, which is going to be the player joining. So public void player join event, and then event. Now you want to type event, player equals event dot get player. There we go. Now you want to import that player class. Now in here you want to type for int I equals 0, and then comma semicolon, sorry, it's less than plugin dot vanish list dot size, and then I plus plus. Now inside of here you want to type for player all, and then bucket dot get server dot get online players. Inside of this for loop, you want to type player dot hide as if for all players. Actually, we've got an if statement, so if underscore all dot has permission. There we go, and then you want to type tutorial dot vanish. Now inside of here, you want to type slayer dot hide, and then plugin, comma plugin dot vanish list dot get, and then I, and then you want to type else player dot show player plugin plugin dot vanish list dot get, and then inside of it I. Now that's your join event listener made. You want to go back to your main class. You want to then type implements listener. So on the end here, you want to type implements listener. And then you want to import the class. Now, what you need to also do is go under here. You want to type bucket.getServer, and then you want to type get plugin manager. Then you want to type dot register events new vanish join. Then you want to type this on the end. You want to also type this inside of that. Now that has registered that event. Just now trying to think, do we actually need this implements listener? Probably not, but we're going to keep it in there anyway, just in case. Now, going back to Vanish, we need to check that everything's fine. Yep, everything appears to be fine, so that will actually be it for today's episode. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed and it was helpful, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See ya.